Well, good morning. Grandpa here. It's been a while since I've read a book, a couple of weeks at least. And anyway, I'm not going to read a book today. Not technically a book. But anyway, Grandpa does things different once in a while. And he kind of likes to keep creative once in a while. But anyway, I've written some things in the past, mostly just journals and things about life experiences and stuff like that. And but anyway, something came up recently and made Grandpa think that maybe I should write a children's book. I read children's books all the time, so why not write one? Or at least give it a try. So anyway, this is my first attempt at writing a children's book. And I didn't have any way to do any artwork, so I kind of went on the internet and I found some pictures, and I hope I didn't violate any rules or laws doing that. But anyway, so I figured kids like pictures, and so I should put a couple pictures in there. So anyway, this is my first book, and it's called Jesus and the Pirate. It's by Grandpa. Here we go. Jesus and the Pirate by Grandpa. Once upon a time in a land far from here lived a little boy named Chris. Chris liked to play in his father's fishing boat and pretend he was a pirate. It was a small boat that only had oars to move it through the water. Chris learned to talk like a pirate and say words like ahoy, aye matey, and arr. He would grab a broomstick and pretend it was a sword, and he was fighting off bad guys. One day his father went to town to trade some fish for fresh vegetables and wine, while his mother was busy in the kitchen making bread. Chris the pirate decided it was time to cast off and defend the treasures he had buried on the beach close to the boat. He had a treasure map that he kept in a safe place in his bedroom, but he didn't need it, as he remembered where the treasures were buried. He went to his father's boat, and when he stepped into the boat, it started to slide in the sand down the hill. It slid all the way to the water, where it made a big splash when it entered the Sea of Galilee. It wasn't a big sea, but the water was known to get rough at times. On the far shore of the Sea of Galilee was a young man named Jesus, and he had 12 followers who he called disciples. They would do anything Jesus asked of them because they knew Jesus was good. The day before, they had a big party with 5,000 people in attendance who came to hear Jesus talk. But they came unprepared and didn't think to pack any food. You see, Jesus is the Son of God, so he can do anything. He could see that these people believed in him and his Father, so he was able to feed them all by breaking a few loaves of bread and passing it out. Everyone had plenty to eat. The next day, Jesus asked his disciples to get on the ship and go to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. Jesus wanted to stay behind and pray and think about the wonderful day he had before with the 5,000 people. He prayed so long, and before he knew it, the sky got dark and the wind started blowing. He began to worry about his 12 disciples being on the water in the storm. So he decided he would go look for them. He started walking straight out on the water without giving it a thought. Now, Jesus isn't the kind of person to show off or brag, but he walked directly to the ship the 12 disciples were on. And when he stepped on board, the wind stopped and the waters became smooth again. 3 of the 12 disciples were so impressed, they wrote about Jesus walking on the water in their memoirs. Chris the pirate was laying down in his father's boat this whole time, thinking he was going to die. But he saw Jesus walking on the water to the other ship, and a peace came over him as he knew everything was going to be okay. When the wind stopped and the sea was smooth again, he got the oars out and followed the ship Jesus was on to the shore. When he arrived, the 12 disciples were gone, but Jesus was still there. Jesus told Chris to give up being a pirate. Jesus said, quote, "You have many good qualities and are a very nice person," unquote. Chris blinked his eye and Jesus was gone. At first, he thought maybe he was dreaming, as Jesus was the nicest person he had ever met. He thought maybe Jesus was a superhero from heaven. After all, Jesus did walk on water, and everything was better when Jesus came into his life. He thought about what Jesus told him about not being a pirate any longer. Chris the pirate decided he wanted to become Chris the deacon. He ran inside his house and told his mother what had happened. He told her he was not Chris the pirate any longer, but now he would be Chris the deacon. She was happy to hear Chris had met Jesus and he was safe. She was also happy to hear he wanted to be a deacon. So she told him to mow the lawn before his father gets home. I guess this is what deacons do. The end. And there you have it. Jesus and the pirate. Bet you didn't think that pirate was a little boy, did you? Did anyway. I think we all have a little pirate in us sometime. Grandpa used to be a pirate a long time ago. He had a boat. He had a bird that would sit right on his shoulder. He had an eye patch. He wasn't really a pirate, but he'd pretend to be a pirate sometimes. But he was still a good person. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the story. Hope I did okay for my first children's story I ever wrote. Anyway, never forget, Grandpa loves you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye now.